Ever find yourself needing just a bit more space at home? Maybe for family coming to stay, or maybe you're looking for a way to keep loved ones close, but, without being right on top of each other.
Yeah, that balance between closeness and having your own space is tricky.
Exactly. And what if the answer, maybe surprisingly, was already in someone's backyard?
An interesting thought.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive into something called accessory dwelling units, ADUs. You might hear them called pint-sized homes.
Hmm.
Basically, small residences built on the same property as a main house.
And it's a topic that's really blowing up right now, especially here in Massachusetts, because of some pretty big policy changes we've seen just recently.
That's exactly what we want to unpack today. Our mission here is to look at how these changes in Massachusetts have suddenly made ADUs a much more realistic option for people.
Yeah, explore what impact they're having already on the ground.
And crucially, what all this might mean for you, the listener, and maybe the bigger housing picture overall.
Sounds good. And we're drawing a lot from that CBS Boston report by David Wade, right?
That's right. It gives us a great foundation for this, so let's jump in.
Okay. I mean, the striking thing is how quickly the landscape shifted.
Mhm.
Massachusetts wasn't exactly known for being flexible with housing rules historically. ADUs faced a lot of hurdles.
Oh, absolutely. For the longest time, ADUs were pretty much, as the report put it, locked down by zoning rules.
Right.
The old rules were really tight. You could technically build one sometimes, but often only if a relative was the one moving in.
Yeah, that was a huge
I'm
restriction.
actually renting it out to just anyone. Forget it. Off limits. It
Yeah.
always felt like it kind of defeated the purpose, didn't it?
It really did. It narrowed the use case so much it couldn't really function as a broad solution for affordability or housing shortages.
And Ed Augustus, the Secretary of Housing, he pointed this out too, right? That patchwork across the state.
Exactly. He mentioned that patchwork of regulations across Massachusetts, 351 cities and towns. You had some places allowing them, maybe with lots of hoops to jump through, others banning them outright. Just no consistency.
So if they were so locked down, what was the key? What unlocked them? What lifted them up, so to speak?
That moment really came in August 2024. The game changer was the Affordable Homes Act.
Okay, the Affordable Homes Act. So what did it actually do? How did it change things on the ground for homeowners?
Well, fundamentally, it stripped away a lot of those old barriers.
Yeah.
So now there are often no more special ADU permits needed beyond standard building permits.
Ah, okay. Less red tape.
Less red tape. And crucially, no more rules about ADUs being for relatives only. That's gone.
Wow. Okay. So anyone can potentially live in one now,
Yes. And you can build them up to 900 square feet.
which is a decent size.
It is. Enough for one or two people comfortably. And it gives you flexibility in form, too. It could be, say, converting a basement or an attached addition.
Or a totally separate little backyard cottage.
Or a separate unit, exactly, as long as it has its own separate entrance. And maybe the biggest shift for homeowners, thinking about the finances.
Let me guess, renting.
You got it. You can also rent out an ADU now. That's huge for making it financially viable for many people. It creates options.
That really does sound like a major shift. How does this fit into the state's broader housing strategy? I mean, we hear so much about the housing crisis.
Well, connecting it back to what Secretary Augustus said, this is very much framed as part of the solution. By removing that inconsistent patchwork, the state is trying to create more housing options, more predictably.
So making it easier statewide.
Right. He literally called ADUs one way we're tackling the housing crisis. It's about adding density gently, using existing residential land.
And it's not just abstract policy, right? We're seeing real families make use of this, like the Adlers in Lexington. Their story really stood out.
Oh yeah, the crane story.
Right. Their 900 square foot, 2-bed, 2-bath unit, it wasn't built stick by stick. It arrived in a couple of massive prefabricated pieces.
And then lowered in by crane.
Yeah.
Mark Adler called it a little scary to watch, which I can imagine.
I bet. But it shows these innovative construction methods are part of this too. Makes it faster, maybe?
Potentially, yeah. Offsite construction can definitely speed things up.
And the reason they did it, simple. Their daughter and grandkids moved in.
The common driver, that need for multi-generational living space.
Linda Adler said it was an affordable solution to being close, but giving everybody space. That just sums it up perfectly.
It really does. And then you have Marcia Gleason's story in Northborough, which shows a different angle.
Yeah, she didn't build it for relatives. She built it for herself, right?
Yeah.
An 800 square foot place in the backyard.
Exactly. Her son and daughter-in-law moved into the main house, and she moved into the new ADU.
That's fascinating, kind of flipping the script.
It is, and it highlights that aging in place benefit.
Yeah.
She said, "My new home is just perfect for me, and importantly, it allowed me to stay in my neighborhood."
Keeping those social connections, that's huge.
It is. And she made a point of saying she can still entertain. Hosts, friends, has the grandkids for sleepovers. It's not about losing your lifestyle.
Okay, so these stories are compelling. People are definitely taking advantage, but let's get practical. If someone listening is thinking, maybe this could work for me, what's the bigger picture impact and what are the catches?
Right, the practicalities. So Ed Augustus, the housing secretary, he projects maybe 8,000 to 10,000 ADUs will be built in the next 5 years.
Okay, 8 to 10,000. That sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
Is it in the context of the housing need?
Well, context is key here. Massachusetts needs something like 200,000 new housing units over the next decade to really catch up.
So 10,000 is helpful, but
But it's just one piece of the solution, as
Mhm.
Augustus himself noted. It's additive, it helps diversify options, but it won't solve the whole crisis on its own.
that makes sense. It's part of a bigger toolkit. Now, before you, the listener, grab a shovel and start digging. Any important caveats? Things to watch out for?
Definitely. A few key things. First, property taxes. Adding an ADU increases your property value, so expect your taxes may go up.
Okay, that's logical. What else?
Local control isn't entirely gone. Towns can still pass rules banning ADUs from being used as Airbnbs or other short-term stays.
So if you're banking on that short-term rental income, you need to check local rules first.
Absolutely. Check your town's specific ordinances and, the basic building rules still apply.
Like setbacks, how far you have to be from the property line.
Exactly. You'll need to follow setback rules and other basics. It streamlines the ADU specific permissions, but doesn't eliminate standard zoning and building codes.
Got it. And the big question off, what kind of investment are we talking about? We heard about Chris Lee from Backyard ADUs.
Yeah, his company builds them off-site. He gave a ballpark figure. He said the average price is around $300,000.
Wow. Okay.
Though he noted they can run as much as $500,000.
Yeah.
So it depends on size, finishes, site work needed, all that.
So a significant investment, but probably still less than buying a separate house in many parts of Massachusetts.
Often, yes. Especially when you factor in land costs being zero since you already own the lot.
And this isn't just a Massachusetts thing anymore, is it? Chris Lee mentioned New England is kind of catching up.
That's right. He said it's getting easier across the region. He listed the states. Vermont was the first state in New England. Maine followed. Rhode Island followed. Massachusetts followed. And now New Hampshire just followed.
So the whole region is moving in this direction.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
His take was basically New England is catching up with the West Coast, where ADUs have been more common for longer.
Interesting. A regional shift recognizing these smaller units as a real housing option.
It seems so. It suggests a growing understanding that diversifying our housing types is, well, essential if we want to tackle affordability and availability across the board.
So wrapping this up, it seems clear that accessory dwelling units, these ADUs, have gone from being heavily restricted, almost niche things, to becoming a much more mainstream, flexible option here in Massachusetts.
Yeah, the policy change really opened the door.
And we're seeing real people, like the Adlers, like Marcia Gleason, use them to create space for family or for themselves, solving real needs.
Absolutely. While also adding, gradually to the overall housing supply.
So it's offering personal solutions and contributing, even if it's just one piece, to that bigger housing puzzle.
Exactly. Which leads us to a final thought, maybe for you to chew on. How could this seemingly small shift, allowing these pint-sized homes, actually change the feel of neighborhoods, maybe family structures in your own community, not just here, but anywhere?
Or maybe thinking even broader,
Other-
what other small targeted policy tweaks, things that might seem minor, could actually unlock some surprisingly big solutions for complex problems like housing where you live? Something to think about.